The sun has barely risen, yet the courthouse is already alive with tension. A faint hum of chatter, rustling of papers, and occasional camera clicks set a background symphony of anticipation. Inside, the air was thick, almost choking, as if even the building itself was holding its breath for what was about to unfold. Today wasn't just any court day. It was the day when decades of secrets, betrayals, and hidden resentments would be laid bare before the world for all to see. Kody enters first. Each step echoes off the shiny floors, a slow, intentional tempo to match the weight of the moment. His expression is calm but taut, lips pressed into a thin line, eyes darting from the gallery to the bench. Robyn follows, her heels clicking softly, her hands clasped tightly in front of her. She projects composure, but the slight tremble in her fingers betrays the anxiety she's working so hard to hide. Christine steps in next, scanning the room with sharp, calculating eyes. Every detail, the way the light hits the polished wood, the expressions of the other family members, is catalogued in her mind, fueling her strategy for today. Janelle trails behind, silent but watchful, her calm exterior masking a storm of emotion brewing beneath. Finally, Meri swings in, her dark glasses protecting her eyes, concealing the inner turmoil. Every step and every glance speaks volumes of the quiet tension in this room. /P. The judge enters, the robes sweeping across the floor, and his mere presence demands silence. Cameras focus, and finally, the room is still. The session begins, and instantly, it is quite apparent that this is no ordinary family hearing. Precise attorneys, steady voices, yet the battle that is to come is revealed in the eyes. Kody is called to the stand. He hesitates, a barely perceptible flicker of uncertainty passing across his face. Every person in the room, wives, children, spectators, and reporters, feels the charged weight of this moment. He swallows and begins to speak. His voice calm, yet each word carries the tremor of underlying tension. The initial questions are tame, factual, almost procedural. But as the cross-examination begins, subtle cracks appear. Pauses stretch slightly too long. Answers seem rehearsed, yet falter under careful scrutiny. Kody's composure is tested, revealing glimpses of the emotional weight he's carried silently for years. Then comes the first bombshell. Christine's attorney presents a document, a letter that contradicts years of public claims and private assurances. The room reacts instantly, a collective gasp, a shuffling of papers, the sharp intake of breaths. Christine leans back, eyes flashing with vindication and barely contained triumph. Robyn bites her lip, fighting to maintain composure. Janelle's fingers tap nervously against the bench, while Meri adjusts her sunglasses, hiding the tension that threatens to show. It is the first major crack in a long-standing image of unity, and it lands with the force of a tidal wave. The cross-examination heightens, questions sharper, more incisive. Every word an allegation, a provocation, or a confrontation. Kody becomes more defensive. His hands tighten on the edges of the stand. His shoulders stiffen. Christine leans forward, her voice slashing, laying bare the inconsistencies, the contradictions, and the truths hidden between the lines. The courtroom is like a pressure cooker, and the people in the audience can only watch in a daze as effortlessly maintained appearances begin to crumble. Outside the immediate vigilance of the attorneys, witnesses are summoned into court, each one reveals the fragments of a puzzle that appear hidden. Financial misappropriations, private confrontations, and clandestine messages all reflect the deep intricacies involved in this family's interactions. Every new revelation, subtly yet forcefully, changes the dynamic. A furtive glance interchanged between Christine and Janelle, Robyn's quiet conferring with Meri, Kody faltering eye contact. Each gesture speaks more than words ever could. Then, the emotional gut punch arrives. A child of the family takes the stand, voice quivering, eyes wide with fear and hope. "I just want honesty," they say, looking straight at Kody. The courtroom falls silent again. Even the judge leans forward, enthralled. This is not simple legal procedure. It is a raw emotional showdown, a family conflict flung onto the crucible of public scrutiny. Every reaction, every glance, every whispered conversation becomes part of the story, layering tension and anticipation. The session escalates further as additional witnesses bring new revelations. Personal grievances, private confrontations, and strategic alliances come to light, each adding pressure to the already tense atmosphere. Alliances shift, moments of subtle acknowledgement, hints of collaboration or defiance, and silent negotiations that unfold in glances and gestures. The courtroom becomes a stage for emotions that have long simmered, finally erupting under the scrutiny of law and public attention. Kody struggles to maintain control as the evidence mounts. Christine's defiance sharpens. Robyn's mask slips. Janelle's quiet strength becomes more commanding, while Meri maintains her stoic countenance, further ramping up the tension. A seesaw of power, trust, and fear engulfs those in the audience. Each hesitation, every carefully chosen word, might be the fulcrum that tips the balance and shows more than just legal facts. It exposes the fragility of trust and the power of secrets. As the first session draws toward its close, drama reaches a peak. Kody is confronted with one last, hitherto undisclosed piece of evidence, a message. A document, a note that proves he has lied about everything. His eyes widen. The first flicker of panic crosses his face. Christine's subtle smirk speaks volumes. Robyn gasps. Janelle clenches her jaw tight, while Meri's expression remains impassive, her eyes mirroring curiosity and alarm. The gavel falls, indicating a recess, but the tension does not resolve. It clings in the air, thick, making one wonder, what does that message say? How far-reaching are these secrets, and what will the next session reveal? By the time they leave the courtroom, the story has only just begun. Whispers fill the hallways, cameras capture fleeting expressions, and the weight of what has been revealed begins to settle in. One thing is for sure, life for this family will never be the same again. The cracks exposed in this first session will only grow wider, leading to a confrontation, a revelation, and an emotional climax that no one is ready for, but everyone is desperate to witness. The court reconvenes, and the tension from yesterday hasn't dissipated. It's thickened. Kody returns to the stand, his face pale under the harsh fluorescent lights. His hands shake slightly as he grips onto the edges of the witness stand, the weight of the undisclosed evidence upon him almost physical. Robyn sits rigidly, her knuckles white as she clasps her hands together to steady her breathing. Christine leans forward, her eyes sharp, scanning every reaction. Janelle's calm facade masks a storm of emotion, while Meri, ever enigmatic, silently watches, sunglasses reflecting the harsh light of the courtroom. The first witness is called, being a former family confidant. His testimony starts off cautiously, and then erupts into a series of revelations that shock every person in the room. Hidden financial dealings, secret conversations, and private confrontations are laid out for all to see. Kody's image, so carefully maintained, begins to implode under scrutiny. His voice shakes, and he stammers through words he had once thought he controlled. Christine's face sharpens with a mixture of vindication and incredulity. Robyn swallows hard as one bead of sweat rolls down her temple. Janelle bites her lip as her eyes dart back and forth between Kody and the witness. Meri, meanwhile, leaned back slightly, silently weighing each word. As the witness continued his intense testimony, the atmosphere became electric in the room. One could feel the invisible pressure rise. Every gesture, every pause, every given and subtle glance held weight. Kody's defense attorney tries to gain control back. However, the questioning cuts deeper than anticipated and is forcing Kody to face uncomfortable truths he has avoided for so long. The courtroom is alive with anticipation, a collective breath being held in suspense. Suddenly, Christine rises, her voice cutting through the tension. "You've lied to us for years," she says, eyes blazing. "We trusted you, Kody, and this is how you repay us." The words hang in the air, heavy and accusatory. Kody's jaw tightens, and his hands tremble ever so slightly as he grips the stand. Robyn leans forward, trying to interject, but Christine's momentum is unstoppable. The room seems to vibrate with the intensity of the confrontation. Next, the evidence begins to flow, a chain of text messages between Kody and an unnamed party. There is a litany of surreptitious meetings, hidden motives, and secret betrayals. The courtroom gasps with one accord. Robyn's hand instinctively goes to her mouth as she stands in wide-eyed shock. Christine all but smirks, satisfaction barely held in check. Janelle betrays her agitation with her fingers drumming on her leg. Meri's face remains expressionless, though her eyes flicker with curiosity and concern. The threads of betrayal are coming unraveled in real time, and the facade, carefully constructed for this family, starts to fracture. Retention booster. Sometimes the smallest details, the texts, the letters, the whispered words, carry the heaviest weights. As testimony after testimony comes forward, the conflicts disclosed have become more personal. Personal hurts, emotional betrayals, and flashes of anger buried for so long. With every disclosure, layers are added to an already intricate web of family tension. Kody becomes more flustered. He leans forward, voice strained, trying to explain, justify, and defend. But the courtroom atmosphere has shifted. The audience can feel the unraveling. Subtle shifts in alliances and loyalties now apparent. Christine's incisive questions expose fissures, while Robyn's attempted interventions receive a cold, calculating reception. Janelle's quiet strength is almost palpable. Meri's measured silence only heightens the suspense. Then there is the emotional testimony from one of the older children, whose voice rings out with fear, frustration, and sadness. "We just want the truth," they say, staring directly into Kody's eyes, both their gaze and words filled with years of confusion and hurt. The courtroom is quiet again. Even the judge is leaning forward, mesmerized by the raw emotion. This isn't just a court case anymore. It's a confrontation of hearts and emotions. Family dynamics laid bare for all to see and witness. Next up, tension escalates further when another witness, someone with deep insight into the inner workings of the family, steps forward. Their testimony outlines alliances that have shifted, loyalties broken, and secret resentments that have simmered for years. Kody's face shows growing panic as he realizes the depth of the exposure. Robyn's eyes are glassy from unshed tears. Christine's satisfaction grows keener. Janelle's patience thins a notch, while Meri's eyes dart between the speakers, drinking in every nuance, every meaning. Their private struggles have been brought out into the open air and weigh down one's senses. Then, the shock of an unexpected turn. The playing of a previously unseen video recording. It captures an argument in private, a different side of Kody that nobody has ever seen in public. His defensive tone, his hesitation, his private frustration expressions, all to be broadcast across the courtroom for dissection. Robyn gasps. Christine leans forward with triumph hardly contained. Janelle's brow furrows in concern, and Meri's lips press into a thin line while she scrutinizes every movement. The courtroom seems to hold its collective breath while waiting for Kody's response. Kody attempts to regain control, but Christine's relentless questioning leaves him flustered. The family dynamic is unraveling in real time. Robyn tries to intervene, but her words are drowned out by the intensity of the ongoing cross-examination. Janelle's calm exterior wavers as she realizes the depth of the conflict, while Meri's enigmatic presence adds to the suspense. Every new witness brings more fire to the flames, revealing shocking truths that even the closest people to the situation don't know. It reaches a fever pitch when a long-buried confrontation between Kody and one of the wives is brought into the light. The testimony is vivid, detailed, and shows years of frustration, unspoken anger, and betrayals. Attempts by Kody to explain himself are fragmented. His voice betrays panic simmering below his cool exterior. Robyn's hands shake, trying to remain composed. Christine's smirk, subtle and sharp. Janelle's eyes glisten with tension, while Meri says nothing. Her silence speaks volumes. The courtroom is in a suspension of time, spectators caught up in drama unfolding. At the session's close, the judge orders a brief recess, leaving in suspense the family, attorneys, and audience. The unrevealed consequences of the hidden evidence, like a storm cloud ready to break, hang in the air. Kody's anxiety is reflected in his face. Robyn's posture tightened. Christine's eyes gleam in calculated anticipation. Janelle's calm facade just trembling, while Meri's unreadable expression keeps all in suspense. All that are in the room know that the next session will bring about even more explosive revelations. With more truths the family will no longer be able to avoid. The gavel falls, and a recess is called, but the tension is relentless. The hallways outside are filled with murmurs. Cameras capture millisecond reactions, and everyone, in their own way, knows the tempest is yet to come. One thing is for sure: the secrets that came to light in this session are just the beginning. When the courtroom reconvenes, the emotional and dramatic repercussions cannot be avoided. The courtroom reconvenes, and the tension is almost unbearable. Kody comes in first, his shoulders stiff and his eyes darting slightly, as if anticipating the next blow. Next in line is Robyn, whose face is composed, but whose hands quiver slightly as she clasps them together. Christine enters with a sharp, deliberate step, every inch of her body radiating defiance. Janelle is the last to enter, her calm demeanor cloaking a storm of frustration and worry as Meri comes in, mysterious as ever, and adding that eerie suspense to the room. The air was thick with anticipation. Every breath sounded louder than it should, every glance heavier. A new witness, an old family friend, opens the session and claims to have overheard conversations that directly contradict Kody's prior testimony. Their words are measured and carefully spoken, but drip with revelation. Kody shifts uncomfortably. Deeper lines of stress, etching on his face. Robyn's eyes widen slightly, her lips pursed in a silent attempt to process what she's hearing. Christine leans forward. A faint, almost imperceptible smirk forms, and Janelle's fingers drum lightly against her leg, betraying the tension inside. Meri watches, absorbing every nuance. Her gaze is fixed, unreadable, but intense. The witness recounts heated arguments, secret plans, and private moments never meant to surface. The courtroom is transfixed. Each revelation adds weight to the building storm, which is pushing Kody further into a corner. His voice shakes as he tries to respond, fumbling for words he had long rehearsed. The audience watched in silent suspense, every eye glued to the unfolding drama. Then comes an unexpected twist. A recording surfaces, capturing a private conversation between Kody and one of the wives. The voices are tense, the words laced with frustration, fear, and desperation. Robyn's hand flies to her mouth as the recording plays, eyes glistening with shock. Christine's expression sharpens, a triumphant glint in her eyes. Janelle leans forward, brow furrowed, lips pressed tightly together, while Meri's sunglasses obscure her eyes. But the subtle tilt of her head gives away her rapt attention. He had never meant to share these kinds of truths. Thus, the recording exposed many secrets, peeling back layers of secrecy with ruthless precision. The cross-examination heats up, and Christine stands up, her voice clear, cutting through tension. How could you hide this from us, Kody? How could you betray the trust of your own family? Kody swallows, and his composure begins to fray. Robyn tries to cut in, but Christine doesn't allow much room for interruption with her questioning. Janelle exudes quiet strength in her eyes, showing worry about the family's integrity, while Meri sits stoically, observing every word, every inflection, every emotional ripple. A new witness is sworn in, one close to the family, who has always had his loyalty in question. His testimony is rife with emotion, as he recalls years of hidden resentment, secret alliances, and private confrontations. Kody's defense falters. His responses are hesitant, faltering under the weight of mounting evidence. Robyn looks over at him, worry etched in every line of her face. Christine seems to become almost palpably defiant. Janelle's patience seems stretched thin. And Meri's unreadable stare keeps the audience guessing at her true thoughts. Then, the dramatic moment. One of the children takes the stand, their voice trembling with anger and hurt. "We deserve the truth," they say to Kody, their eyes boring into his. "Why can't you be honest with us?" The courtroom falls silent. Even the judge leans forward, riveted by the raw, unfiltered emotion. Robyn's eyes glisten. Christine's lips curl in a subtle smirk of vindication. Janelle bites her lip to suppress emotion, and Meri's face stays unreadable, but her eyes give away how deeply curious she truly is. In the increasing hostility, the session escalates with more witnesses taking the stand. Former friends, neighbors, and confidants reveal intricate details about secret arguments, hidden plans, and personal betrayals. Kody loses composure, each word another nail to his failing credibility and respect. Robyn leans forward to try and intervene or explain, but her voice is lost in the tension of the courtroom. Christine cuts deep with her questions, leaving no room for excuse, while Janelle's calm demeanor subtly cracks, showing frustration. Meri's silent observation heightens the suspense, her unreadable presence an added layer that tenses everyone in the room. And then, out of the blue, comes the bomb. Some sort of secret agreement between Kody and one of the wives is revealed to all. The courtroom immediately reacts. Robyn gives a soft gasp. Christine leans back, satisfied. Janelle's eyebrows knit in shock, and Meri's lips press into a line, concealing what flickers in her eyes. The implications are huge. Alliances shift, relationships strain, and trust is tested in real time. As the session proceeds and emotions flare, Kody's frustration and panic become much more visible. His hands shake as he tries to hold on with composure. Robyn's expression relates hurt and anxiety, while Christine oozes defiance in every gesture. Janelle's concern is written across her brow, and Meri's stoic presence raises tension for everyone watching. With each witness after another, fire is added to the fire, revealing secrets even the most confidential family members never knew. Then comes the ultimate confrontation. Christine steps forward, laying bare a betrayal she has suspected for years. Her voice is razor-sharp, unwavering, cutting directly to the heart of the conflict. "We trusted you with everything, and this is how you repay us." Kody's jaw tightens, his attempts at defense falter. Robyn tries to soothe the situation, but Christine's momentum is unstoppable. Janelle's eyes glisten with emotion, and Meri's unreadable gaze keeps everyone guessing as to which side she truly aligns with. The session builds to its climax with a shocking testimony from a close family member who reveals a long-concealed secret that threatens to completely upend the family dynamic. Kody's face pales, his hands knuckle white as he clutches the stand for support. Every word an effort. Robyn's eyes fill with tears. Christine barely contains her satisfaction. Janelle's patience finally snaps, and Meri's expression shifts ever so slightly to hint that she too is surprised and intrigued. The tension is almost unbearable. With the gavel falling for a brief recess, the courtroom collectively holds its breath. The secrets brought forth in this session have left everyone reeling. Alliances tested and broken, trust destroyed, and the family thrust into a storm of repercussions that will carry on and worsen in the sessions to follow. Literally every spectator, camera, and witness is wondering, what could possibly come next? How deep are these betrayals? And who, if anyone, will emerge unscathed? The courtroom reconvenes, and the atmosphere is electric with anticipation. Every person present senses that this session will bring revelations that could shake the family to its core. Kody steps up to the stand, his posture rigid, every movement deliberate, as if to shield himself from the storm about to descend. Robyn follows, eyes fixed on him, her hands trembling ever so slightly, despite her composed exterior. Christine enters with her signature intensity, her eyes scanning the room as though she already knows the secrets waiting to be exposed. Janelle trails behind, calm but tense, while Meri's enigmatic presence adds a subtle layer of unpredictability to the proceedings. It starts with a bombshell when a new witness, a confidential informant close to the inner workings of the family, brings information that no one expected. Hidden financial arrangements, secret agreements, and private confrontations are laid out, which had been kept under wraps for many years. Kody's voice shakes as he tries to respond, fumbling over words he had rehearsed time and again. Robyn's lips are pressed tight, betraying anxiety. Christine leans forward, her eyes gleaming with satisfaction and intensity. Janelle's fingers drum a silent rhythm on the bench, while Meri holds a calm expression, though her eyes show deep curiosity and concern. The courtroom has become a battlefield. Sharper, Christine's voice cuts like a blade. "How could you deceive all of us, Kody?" she asks, her eyes ablaze. Kody swallows hard, attempting to keep himself composed. But the questions just keep coming. Robyn leans forward, trying to intervene, but there's no stopping Christine. Janelle's cool exterior begins to crack. Her emotions churn upward to the surface. Meri sits in silence, studying every subtle reaction, weighing her next move. Then comes a video recording, a private family moment captured without Kody's knowledge. It reveals a side of him in conflict with the testimony given, exposing private frustrations, hidden intentions, and secretive conversations. The courtroom responses are immediate. Robyn gasps, eyes wide with shock. Christine's smirk deepens subtly. Janelle's jaw tightens, and Meri's unreadable gaze adds to the weightiness. The weight of the evidence presses down like a physical force, leaving everyone on edge. More and more witnesses come forward through this session, each exposing intimate knowledge about the internal struggle of the family. The rehashing of arguments believed to have been settled, betrayals, and grudges that were not openly expressed all come to the fore. Kody becomes visibly agitated, his hands clutching the edges of the stand. Robyn's eyes glitter with suppressed emotion. Christine's intensity sharpens. Janelle's calm composure is shaken, and Meri just silently observes the spectacle, casting an air of suspense over the whole room. Then, there's an emotional confrontation. One of the kids comes forward, their voice shaking with pain. "Why can't we have honesty?" they ask, confronting Kody. "Why is the truth always hidden from us?" The courtroom has gone silent. Even the judge leans forward, riveted by the raw, unfiltered emotion. Robyn's hands are shaking. Christine's eyes flash vindication. Janelle's brow furrows in concern, and Meri's calm only heightens the tension, making them all question where her loyalties lie, really. It escalates into a maelstrom of papers and recordings that show secret alliances among the wives. Unexpected alliances, hidden strategies, private plans. It shakes to the core the trust the family had. Kody tries to compose himself. Each revelation is like another hard punch. Robyn leans far forward to explain or defend, but Christine's piercing gaze allows Kody no escape. Janelle's composed veneer begins to break down under the weight of the truth. Meri's silent intensity matches an already charged atmosphere in the courtroom. Then, the explosive twist. A witness reveals a long-concealed vendetta, a personal grudge that has driven decisions and actions for years. The courtroom springs into action. Kody's face goes white, his eyes darting with fear and frustration. Robyn swallows hard. Christine leans forward with a keen satisfaction. Janelle's lips press tightly together, and Meri's unreadable gaze hints at intrigue and calculation. Emotional stakes go through the roof as the audience wonders who will not survive the fallout. The testimony continues to unfold, revelation after revelation, each more astounding than the one before. Kody's answers turn defensive, and he falters over the cracks in his well-tended narrative. Robyn can barely keep her composure. Christine is defiant. Janelle's composed veneer begins to crack, and Meri watches silently, her intent still anyone's guess. Witness after witness pours gas on the fire, exposing hidden arguments, clandestine plans, and betrayals buried for years. Then, the session's emotional high point, possibly the most dramatic moment on the record, is reached. Kody versus Christine, and the entire courtroom is on edge. Christine does not falter for a second. Her voice cuts through the tension like a knife. "We trusted you with everything, and this is how you repay us." Kody's hands shake, his voice faltering as he tries to mount a defense. Robyn's lips clamp together in what seems to be a fight against crying. Janelle looks frustrated and sad all at once. Meri is an unflappable presence, but that just heightens the drama of the confrontation. As the session draws to a close, another bombshell comes forth, a well-guarded secret, one that threatens to dismantle the very fabric of this family's public image. Kody's face goes white. Robyn's eyes are wide with incredulity. Christine's satisfaction is palpable. Janelle's composed exterior is cracking, and Meri's inscrutable expression leaves the courtroom guessing. The tension cannot get much worse. The stakes cannot get much higher. The gavel goes down for a temporary recess, but the tension hangs heavy in the air. Every single person is left with questions upon leaving that courtroom. How deep do the secrets run? Who can be trusted? And what will happen when this final session begins? The emotional and dramatic fallout from this session sets the stage for the ultimate confrontation, promising revelations that will shake the family and viewers alike. The tension in the courtroom is almost palpable as the family members step forward one by one. Kody comes first, his face pale and his jaw clenched in anticipation that this session will be one that requires answers to questions he has avoided for a long time. Robyn follows, her body rigid and her eyes shining with anxiety and hope. Christine walks in with measured intensity, her eyes scanning the room as if to pierce through every semblance of facade. Janelle is cool, yet her eyes reflect the storm raging inside of her. Meri comes in last, sporting her sunglasses, but commanding attention nonetheless. It's going to be the most explosive revelation yet. The session opens with a bombshell. An unexpected witness, long estranged from the family, comes forward. Their testimony threatens to expose Kody's deepest secrets: financial mismanagement, hidden plans, personal betrayals. The courtroom collectively gasps as each revelation lands like a physical blow. Kody's hands shake as he clings to the stand, attempting to maintain composure, but every word from the witness pushes him closer to the edge. Robyn bites her lip to hold back emotion. Christine's eyes flash with triumph as her fingers curl into tight fists, while Janelle drums tension on her knee, and Meri's gaze remains unreadable to heighten the suspense. Later, Christine gets her chance to confront Kody directly, her tone unwavering, her words precise and cutting. All these lies, all these secrets, how do you expect any of us to trust you? Kody stumbles. Beads of sweat appear on his brow. His attempts at explanation, justification, and defense are weak in comparison to the relentless tide of evidence. Robyn rises forward, attempting to intervene, but Christine is focused like a laser, with zero room for interruption. Janelle's mask of calm starts to break as frustration and sorrow fight for prominent display upon her face. And Meri says nothing. But she is there, an unknown variable in this courtroom equation. Then, another surprise. The judge allows a new piece of evidence, a private video of Kody in a heated argument with someone that no one has ever seen. His body language, tone, and hidden emotions, all out in the open. Robyn softly gasps, placing her hand over her mouth. Christine leans forward, a gleam of satisfaction in her eyes, while Janelle's brow tightens and Meri's eyes, barely seen behind her glasses, widen ever so slightly. The evidence of deception and conflict rocks the very core of their family and the courtroom. The cross-examination continues, exposing a web of hidden relationships, secret alliances, and emotional betrayals. Kody struggles to keep control as each question takes a direct hit at his credibility. Robyn's hands shake as her eyes nervously flutter between Kody and the evidence being revealed. Christine's relentless digging will not permit even a chance for excuses. Janelle's calm composure falters, showing the weight of long-buried secrets surfacing, while Meri remains unreadable, leaving everyone to guess her next move. Next, one of the children takes the stand to testify, their voice cracking with anger and sadness. "We just wanted honesty, not lies," they say, directing a glare at Kody. "How could you betray us like this?" The courtroom falls silent, with everybody holding their breath. Robyn's eyes well up with tears. Christine's smirk deepens. Janelle's face softens in empathy, and Meri's unreadable gaze now hints at her inner thoughts with a spark. As the session heats up, alliances are tested. Christine and Janelle exchange furtive glances as unspoken judgments and grudges rise to the surface. Robyn struggles to maintain composure, caught between defending Kody and processing the unfolding revelations. Meri's silent observance amplifies the tension. Her silence speaks louder than words, forcing everyone to wonder where her loyalties truly lie. Every testimony, every shred of evidence, ratchets up the battle, and nobody can foresee what will come out of this. And then comes the ultimate revelation, a secret document showing Kody's clandestine agreements, his long-kept intentions, and personal betrayals. The courtroom erupts in audible gasps. Kody's face goes white. Robyn's hands are quivering. Christine's eyes gleam triumphant. Janelle bites her lip, withholding even more emotions, while Meri is unreadable, which ups the ante even more. The evidence threatens to take down the already tenuous relationships within their family. The tension reaches a full crescendo as Christine and Kody face off in a heated, final confrontation. Her voice cuts like a sharp knife through that room. "We trusted you with everything, and this is the truth you gave us?" Kody tries to stutter out some kind of response, but the mountain of evidence along with raw, emotional testimony renders him speechless. Robyn finally loses her composure, tears streaming down her face. Janelle's is a face of sorrow and anger, whereas Meri's calm observation adds a more haunting unpredictability to the scene. Then, out of left field, one of the more minor witnesses drops a bombshell, a revelation that no one could have seen coming, which threatens to blow the family's public image completely. In an instant, the room reacts. Kody's jaw clenches, Robyn gasps softly, Christine leans forward in sharp satisfaction, Janelle's fingers shake slightly, and Meri's eyes narrow, revealing a flicker of intrigue. The repercussions from this bombshell are immediate, leaving the courtroom and viewers reeling. As the session nears its close, the judge calls for a brief recess. Left in suspense, the family, attorneys, and audience struggle to absorb the full emotional and dramatic weight of the revelations. Kody's face has gone pale. Robyn's expression is mixed with concern and heartbreak. Christine's eyes gleam with satisfaction. The calm of Janelle's exterior is worn thin, and Meri's unreadable presence leaves everyone guessing what her true intentions are. Every secret revealed, every betrayal exposed, sets into motion consequences that will forever cascade their way through the family. Before adjourning, the judge says one final thing. The evidence presented will have to be further investigated, and the next session will reveal how it goes down for the family. The courtroom is electric with anticipation, fully aware that nothing will ever be as it was. Outside the court, the hallways are filled with whispers. The cameras capture fleeting expressions, and anticipation lingers in the air. Never before has so much been placed on the line, and the truth must now be squarely faced by the family. Every glance between Kody, Robyn, Christine, Janelle, and Meri speaks volumes of the emotional battleground on which they have engaged. The story is far from over, the ending not quite in sight. As the minutes close, Kody is quiet, his head bowed, knowing that the revelations of this session will change everything. Robyn says nothing. Her silent struggle, an inner fight to process the chaos around her. Christine leans back, a small smirk of satisfaction playing across her face. Janelle's eyes are a reflection of a mixture of hope and despair. Meri's calm exterior masks a storm of thoughts whirling behind her sunglasses. The session is over, but the drama, suspense, and emotional tension are not, poised to explode in the sessions to follow, leaving viewers desperate to know what happens next.